So right now we have how you're going to die. Let's get straight into it. 15 minutes long. How you're going
Ashes
to
to
die.
ashes, dust to dust.
I ain't gonna
From
front. I might
sand we
smoke you out
came,
this.
to sand we'll return. No matter what we do, no matter how hard we try, one day we're living, the next we're clocking out for the long nap.
That is very true.
We all know this, but still, the thought of death is extremely scary for most people. I think this is because unlike most
I feel like death used to be scary for me. Like I used to fear a lot of shit, but like now I won't say that I'm fearless, but like the way I look at fear now is like boom, like let's say I'm about to get on a roller coaster and I'm fucking shaking. I'm gonna be like, yo, get on that roller coaster. Like you don't got a choice. Like I have to be put in predicaments where I don't have a choice, and I'm gonna do it. And I might be like, this is me. I might be scared throughout doing it, but I'll still do it. You feel me? Like that's it.
things in
I'm
life,
one of those type of people. Like I'll
we
be
don't
dumb
know
scared and still do
anything
it. Like fuck
about
it.
death. We don't know when we'll die, how we'll die, or even why we.
Comment down below what you think happens when you die, though, because honestly, I don't know. Like I have my faith in God and the heavens and stuff, but there's like 1,000 scenarios as to what could happen. So you dead ass don't know. Because in my eyes, it's like, yo, whoever made this world, right? Why would you make it to the point where there's 20 different, let's say 100 different religions? It's 100 different types. Like everything is so different. So like, and it's always different outcomes. So how can there just be one death? You get what I'm saying? I don't know. I sound stupid. I don't even
We
know
don't
what
know
I
if
just
death
said.
is the end, or if it's only the beginning of something else. We just don't know. However, thanks to statistics and probability, we might be able to predict how we're going to die.
How?
Most of the time when we talk about death prevention, people think of locking the door to their houses, learning martial arts, or carrying around a weapon for self-defense. We try to protect ourselves from the other people who might want to harm us. But in reality, the person most likely to kill you is you. The
Why you
odds of
say
dying
that?
by suicide are significantly higher than the odds of getting murdered. Because we're always in our heads, we're always aware of all the wrong we've ever done.
That's
We
very
become
true.
judge, jury, and executioner in our own court case.
I like how he said that though. I definitely be in my head on some shit. Like, yo, I be in my head creating some scenarios sometimes, and it'd be like, bro. Like for example, bro. Like, and I know this might sound crazy, but for example, you might be on the, I might be on the train, for example, and it'll be somebody like across from me, and I'm like, you're like, what if he just tries to stab me right now? What would I do? Or you'll be chilling, like, or like across my head, like, yo, kill that person. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't want to kill nobody. I don't know.
We
Every
sentence
weird shit
ourselves
like
to
that.
punishments that we don't deserve.
But I won't do it
Our
though. But
mind
it's
keeps
just
us
like,
in solitary confinement with soundproof doors so no one outside can ever hear us scream. Slowly, it drains life out until there's nothing left. With how common suicide is, it's surprising to see how some people still treat issues relating to mental health. The way we treat mental health overall has improved, yes,
yeah,
but there's still a long way to go.
that's true.
If someone
This is
came
like
to
the
you to
baby
tell you that
steps.
they felt unsafe and they've been seeing someone around who might try to kill them, your first reaction probably wouldn't be, "Are you sure?" or "It's probably just all in your head, just don't think that way."
Yeah.
Instead, you would probably get the person to a place where they feel safe and away from their potential attacker. So why is it that when it comes to mental health issues that are more likely to kill us, we aren't as kind to one another? We tell people to stop sulking and just be happy, as if there's a light switch in their head that they can simply click on and off to control their emotions. We tell them that they aren't being strong enough, as if they can fight the demons in their head with their bare hands. We need to start treating people in serious mental health crises the same way we would treat people that are about to get murdered. Instead of telling them to be happy or be strong, let's help get them to a place where they feel safe. Because in reality, when someone is murdered,
It's a mental
it's the
health
guy who
video.
opens his door and just gets shot. But when it's suicide, he is also the one who knocks. When he knocks, we need to, figuratively, lock our doors, learn martial arts, and carry around a weapon for self-defense. This can include things like taking some time off to clear your head and just breathe,
That's
doing
true.
mindfulness practices like meditation, and of course, seeking actual professional.
Thing about the meditation thing is like comment down below if you have any tips, but I be trying it sometimes and I do see the purpose of it, but it'd be hard to fucking sit there or lay down there and that I just focus. Like, so salute to the people that's really out here doing that, and to the people that's constantly going to therapy and taking that shit seriously and actually seeking help. Like, salute to you too, because me and one of my boys, we've been talking about getting therapy for like the last 2 years, and I have yet to build the confidence to go seek therapy. Like, and it's something that's really like it's cool to talk to people you know and talk to your family about your problems and all that shit, but like I feel like a therapist is like that fair because like they're not there to judge you or they don't care about you. Niggas don't even know you. Like same thing for me. Like I'd rather talk to a person that don't know me for real, and like open up to them and let them give me a more fair answer than to talk to somebody that I know, because I feel like that answer is always gonna be biased if they know you. You feel me?
help. Well, we're not the ones doing the job. Dying by murder is surprisingly unlikely.
That's a
However,
fact.
if you will get
That's
murdered,
not to keep pausing, but that's another thing I'll be telling people. I'll be like, yo, what's the odds of that happening to you? You feel me? Like that's very unlikely. It can happen, but it is highly unlikely. Like
you'll most likely be
maybe
killed by
stories
someone you
most of the
know,
times,
rather than a stranger.
but then you come
Most
across a
murders
lot
are
of people
carried
that
out
don't know
with a
people that
gun.
got shot though,
It's one of man's
especially in
deadliest
the hood.
inventions, and to be lethal with it, you don't need to have much skill, prior training, or physical strength. You don't need to know how to shoot or need to have shot before. Just pull the trigger and you'll cause a lot of damage. This is why gun control is an issue that so many people talk about. Some people argue that bad guys are going to get guns anyway, so the good guys need to be able to own one too to protect themselves. But in reality, how do you know who's a good guy?
And since we talking guns, like for real, I am not like a gun advocate. I know other people are like big on the guns, like, and I love Call of Duty. I love all that shit, but I'm really not for like the whole gun shit. Like the whole gun shit, like I feel like nobody should be able to take another person's life. Like that should be out of all of our control. Like from us to cops to military, like nobody needs no gun, bro. We should not be killing each other. Like in
And
my
who's a
perfect
bad
world.
guy? How do you tell that a good guy who will give you a gun today won't turn out to be a bad guy tomorrow?
That's a fact.
We also don't consider the fact that there are 3 different ways a gun can kill you. You can get shot by it, it can fire by accident, or you can use it to put an end to it all yourself. If you
I
don't
never
own a
thought of it
gun,
like that.
you can only die in one of these 3 ways. You can get shot. But if you do own a gun, you immediately open yourself up to the other 2, increasing your odds of dying by a gunshot drastically. According to statistics from the CDC, 14,542 people died from gunshot-related homicides in 2019 alone. That number might seem like a lot. However, it pales in comparison to the number of people who died of suicide by gunshot, 23,854
Yeah.
people. For each
That
time a
shit
gun is
crazy.
used in
People really be out here
self-defense,
killing themselves.
it's also
for real.
used in 11 suicide attempts, 7
I feel
murders.
like just this year alone, like I've heard of like 2 major stories. One from the college that I went to, and then one from the town that I'm in right now, like the place I'm in right now. So this shit's for real.
and
No,
4
actually
accidental
three,
fires.
3 stories.
With stats like
That
these,
shit's
it almost makes
crazy.
you wonder why people want multiple weapons capable of doing
I don't know
things
if it
like
was
this.
nah. It wasn't all about guns.
Since we
But
arrived on this planet,
damn,
humans have been trying to
this is
increase their
suicide.
lifespan. We learned the best foods to eat for strength and rejuvenation. We learned what not to eat for a healthier life. And best of all, we created medication. We learned how to use drugs and other forms of medicine to help treat, cure, and prevent our diseases. One of the most important drugs we created are pain relievers. Our body
Jeez.
does a very good job at healing itself. When we have a cut, a tear, or even broken bones, if given enough time, the body repairs itself with new cells and tissue.
That's a fact though. Like now looking at it, bro, I never even thought of it like that. Like our bodies dead ass repair itself. Like for example, my skin right here that's like halfway ripped because I bite my nails. Like this is like in a few days gonna fully grow back in. You feel me? Or for example, like you cut your skin, like it might not go back to your regular complexion. For example, like for say I cut right here. Like I had burnt right here on the stove or whatever, and you see like it's just a little darker, but it dead ass healed itself.
The pain we feel before or while the
scarred no
healing
more. That's
happens can be
crazy.
very excruciating.
We
With pain
fucking
relievers,
stink, man.
we can reduce this pain drastically to the point where we can keep going on with our daily activities while the injury heals. In 1775, opioids became a legal pain-relieving medicine, and in the 1860s, it was used to treat troops during the Civil War. However, something unexpected happened. Many of the soldiers that were treated with opioids became addicted to them, and in that moment, what was designed to heal us would soon also be able to kill us.
Always, right? Yeah, I learned from my life. I had a whole other reaction channel that got deleted. I learned I cannot let them ads play.
Opioid overdoses account for 1 in 92 deaths in America. You are more likely to die from an opioid overdose than you are to die from a car crash, a gunshot, fire or smoke, or even a natural disaster. In New York alone, about 3,000 people die yearly from an opioid overdose. Now I'm sure you're wondering, if this stuff is so lethal, why is it still so easily accessible? Well, if you don't already know, Big Pharma is used to collectively describe the global pharmaceutical industry. They're responsible for producing our medicine, which is a good thing. But these are companies, and companies are designed to make the most money, not for the general good of the public. Opioids tend to make a lot of money, so they convince everyone that opioids are essential, even though there are non-opioid painkillers that are much safer and not as addictive. But there's still more. Diseases like diabetes and HIV are deadly killers when mismanaged. But when properly managed with the right medication, people can lead a long and relatively healthy life even with them. However, this medication is extremely expensive for most people. Currently, it is estimated that 463 million people are living with diabetes all over the world. But unfortunately, a lot of these people are going to die because they simply cannot afford insulin. If you live in America, you don't have to worry about HIV as much.
That's another thing too, bro. When I was younger, like, I never understood like how important health insurance and all that shit is. Like now that you older, like you dead see, like that's why they be like, yo, go get a good job so you can get the best job that's paying with health insurance and all these type of things. Cause when you get sick for real, all that shit gonna come into play for real, bro. Like, and that shit no joke. You really gonna need that health insurance in that bag if you want to stay alive, man.
However, if you live in sub-Saharan Africa, you're at more risk. If you live in Eswatini, whose population is 27% HIV positive, you might want to be extra careful on whose bed you lie. As an American, however, there is one thing that you definitely need to worry about: obesity. If you're an American adult watching this video right now, there's a 1 in 3 chance that you're medically obese. Obesity is an American epidemic that isn't talked about enough.
Nah, I remember, bro, there was a movie my dad would always make me watch, fucking, it's called Over the Hedge. And that's like basically like the message it was telling in that movie, like obesity in America is crazy. Like the animals would go through the trash and all that, camp out in the backyards, run out on people's cribs, steal all their food, and it was just showing like we stealing donuts, chips, all these type of things. Like look at how these people are living, and it's crazy.
It is, but most people tend to just shrug it off. With a predominantly sugary diet and the biggest fast food chains in the world, it's not surprising that over 36% of Americans are obese. And obesity isn't just a cosmetic concern.
Nigga, McDonald's, yo, bro, that's the thing. Look, you hop off work. Let's say people that work overnight and shit. If you don't cook, you hop off work. The only thing open in McDonald's, like, I lived in New York already, in the city, like Brooklyn and shit. So like over there, food places are open all night. I don't know about current day, but when I was growing up, food places are open all types of night. But over here and like where I'm at now and where I was at before, like it hit like 10. Once it hit like 9, 10, 11, all food places closed down. The only thing open be McDonald's and like Wendy's and shit like that.
Heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, and even cancer.
Look at that. You eating that? You eating junk food at damn near 2, 3 in the morning. Your body not processing that.
Obesity is generally caused by eating too much and moving too little. So you would think eating too little and moving too much should solve the issue. And while for the most part it does, if you do this, you're going to die of nutritional deficiencies. Although a lot more attention is given to obesity, Obesity and nutritional deficiencies cause almost the same number of deaths. In 2017, 7,740 people in America died of obesity. In the same year, 7,846 people died from nutritional deficiencies. Nutritional deficiencies are sometimes caused by eating disorders like anorexia. Although they can affect anyone, as a young woman, you are most at risk. This is in part because the world promotes being thin, when, in reality, being extremely slim and being extremely obese are equally dangerous. Accidents happen, and usually there's nothing we can do about
You
it.
got fat on your body,
And for
man.
some of us, that's sadly the way we're going to die. Whether it's a motor vehicle accident, simply falling on the ground to your death, or accidental poisoning. Most of the time, there's really nothing we can do to prevent these accidents. Yes, we can try to be safe, but sometimes things simply don't work out the way they're supposed to, and we come crashing into the ground. However, sometimes these accidents are not completely accidental. If you drink and drive, that's most likely how you're going to die. Technically, it will be described as an accident.
You're not promoting this, but I've been in cars with people multiple times that were like fucking wasted, and I don't know how the fuck we got home. Like, that was literally the grace of God. Like, I'm still supposed to be here to this day for real, because I'm talking about driving a good 20, 30, 45 minutes to get back to our destination too, and they're driving wasted.
It
I
would
don't
have
know
been a
how
very
to do it,
preventable
bro.
one.
I can't do that.
Every one of us
I
has a
tried
1 in
that
3
shit one night,
chance
and
of being
I'm
involved
backing
in a
up the
drink and
parking
drive
lot. I'm like,
accident,
hell no, I ain't going
whether as
nowhere.
drivers or passengers. If you don't want to end up as a statistic, always make sure that you have a designated driver or order an Uber when you go out for a night of drinking. While dying in a drinking and driving accident is easily preventable, the thing that's most likely to kill you isn't. Cancer. Just as there's a 1 in 3 chance that you'll be involved in a drunk driving accident, there's also a 1 in 3
Nah,
chance
he's
that you'll be
touching on
diagnosed
some
with
major
cancer in
topics
your
right now.
lifetime.
Fake
This
making me
isn't very
emotional.
surprising considering the fact that there are just so many different types of cancer, and none of them are completely preventable. It's true that things like a healthy diet and
R.I.P. my
exercise can
son
reduce your
Virgil, man.
chances, but it doesn't completely eliminate them.
R.I.P.
And for the most part, this is true for death in general. We can try our best to protect ourselves and be safe, but when it comes knocking, sometimes all we can do is open the door and be ready to be taken. Life isn't fair. If it was, we would all be born with the same genes, predisposed to the same diseases and health risk factors. But we're not. Diseases can be hereditary, and straight from our mother's wombs, we're simply born to die. HIV, sickle cell anemia, high blood pressure. Sometimes we simply inherit these diseases that make us more likely to die than the next person the moment we're born. High blood pressure is one of the deadliest inherited diseases because it exposes us to the biggest killer in the world, heart disease. 1 in every 4 deaths is caused by heart disease. If you smoke or have high cholesterol, this is most likely how you're going to die. Heart disease, for the
Damn, bro.
most part, is preventable.
That's kind of hard.
But with things like poverty not giving people the opportunity to have the most nutritious meals they can, it's really difficult. When you think about it, it actually makes sense. The heart is the center of our lives, so we're most likely going to die when it's not functioning properly, which is why exercise and a healthy diet is always encouraged. For all your heart does for you, it deserves to be treated right.
What's made
That's
people
why I
the
work out,
wealthiest?
man.
Study history.
I'm
What's
getting
the
rich
number one thing that
tonight.
made Jeff
R.I.P. that
Bezos
pussy.
the richest man in the
Hey,
world?
she's on mic tonight.
If you're saddened about how
Bitch,
likely
nah,
and unpreventable your death is, don't be. Things have actually been getting much better. Between 2000 and 2019, the global life expectancy increased by more than 6 years, and it's still going up. Modern day medicine is getting better.
That
Mortality rates are
CMOS,
going
man.
down, and we're living much better than
My
we used
chest hurt.
to.
I put in a crazy
No
session.
matter how old you are watching this video right now, in a way, you've already lived a full life. If you lived in the Victorian era, which is just less than 200 years ago, you would have had a 1 in 3 chance of dying before you even turned 5. So live. Enjoy life to its fullest. Life is so fleeting, so take time to pause.
5 years old? That's
Be thankful
tough.
for
My
what you
son
have
is
and
3.
hopeful for what's to come. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. From sand we came, to sand we'll return. no matter what
Nah, I
we
love
do,
people that make
no
these
matter
type
how
of
hard we
videos, bro.
try.
Like, these type of
One day
videos
we
are crazy.
live, and the next, we die.
The commentary, like the voice, is just all fine, man. Like,
The thought of death scares many people, and understandably so. It's something that can happen anytime, anywhere,
true.
but living in fear of it is no way to live.
No way.
We all have limited time on Earth, and
Live
we
your
need to
life,
make the most
man.
of it.
Just
So
live
instead
your
of worrying
life.
about what happens once you're no longer around, preparing for that worst case scenario now might be able to help give you the peace of mind you're looking for. And to do that, Lemonade is here to help.
Live your life.
No, I get it. Not everyone wants to think about even needing life insurance. It's scary. But preparing for tomorrow today can help future-proof
Nah, I
your
wasn't even
family
talking
in
about
case
life
of your
insurance. I was talking about
untimely
this shit.
death.
Look at me trying to
If you're the
stroke my
breadwinner
ego.
in your household, life insurance can help with the financial protection of your partner or kids. Or maybe you're a parent with a really smart kid who might want to go to college in the future. If something were to happen, you can rest easy at night knowing you've done what you can to help take care of them. Applying for term life insurance is a 100% digital experience. You can do it on your terms, wherever you are. Starting at just $9 a month, it's some of the most affordable term life insurance on the market. You can apply to get up to 30 years in coverage in as little as 5 minutes by visiting lemonade.com/aperture.
This guy just
Your future
doing a
self
paid
will thank you.
promotion. Get him
You'll
out of
sleep
here.
better.